From the studios of Books in Motion, this is Ben Mclean, reading Eagle Squad by James C. Glass. Now let's begin with Eagle Squad, Prologue. A snarling wharf rat, mouth flecked with foam, came out of the darkness. Jacob Bauer cowered in one corner of an empty room as the dog-sized animal lunged towards him. There was a fleeting instant of panic. Something was amiss. It was the wrong kind of rat. It should be small, white, and cute, with little pink eyes. Bauer glared at the rat, and it fell over on its side. Bauer watched the death throes curiously, feeling detached yet somehow responsible. And then a telephone was ringing. But that wasn't right either, because he didn't allow telephones in this part of the laboratory. He tried to find it, and it kept on ringing. He awoke when a fumbling hand struck something sharp on the nightstand. Esther grumbled in her sleep and turned over beside him, pushing her buttocks against his back. He fumbled until he had the telephone in hand, and he was wide awake. "Yes, this is Bauer," he whispered, then listened quietly for a long time, frowning. "Don't touch anything at all, and stay out of the room. I'll be over in a few minutes, Len. But are you okay? No cramps or dizziness? I hardly recognize your voice." He listened again. "Relax, and put some coffee on. See ya." He swung out of bed, shuffled to the bathroom, and splashed water on his face. A balding, middle-aged man with sagging jowls and stomach watched him sleepily from the mirror as he performed his toilet rituals. He dressed in the dark, smiling when his wife began to snore. He tapped the bed sharply with his foot, and the snoring stopped. "I'll call her later from the lab," he thought. He went to the kitchen, found a day-old bagel, some cream cheese, and made a snack. There was an uneasy feeling in the pit of his stomach. The morning was clear and crisp, with an orange glow on the horizon as he pedaled his bicycle through empty streets toward the nearby campus. The hill loomed ahead of him, bristling with silhouettes of buildings housing classrooms and laboratories that were his life for much of each day. A feeling of guilt returned. The university had been so good to him, but if he had his way, he might soon bring it all down. Why couldn't he just do his work like the others? Because the others don't care about consequences, he thought. They only wanted the power and prestige that came with heavily funded research programs, and they would do anything for that. He had wanted it too, and played the game well. But now he wanted out as soon as the project was finished. The way things were going, that might be never. The string of failed experiments was both discouraging and mysterious, and his masters were not pleased. Bauer leaned over the handlebars, pumped hard up the winding narrow road towards the hilltop campus. He raced past the darkened library and administration building, circled a wide, grassy quadrangle in the center of campus, and sweated a staggering path up a dark walkway towards the glowing beacon of the Robert F. Gordon Science Center at the very top of the hill. The white marble building, a windowless 4-story rectangular box, glowed softly in yellow light from dozens of powerful lamps pointing upwards from the flower gardens at its base. He parked his bicycle with 3 others in a rack near the front entrance. One he recognized as Len's, the other he hadn't seen before. At a wide door of thick glass he inserted a plastic card in a slot below a speaker and television screen. The "Proceed" appeared on the screen. "Jacob Bauer, Analytical Chemistry," he said slowly. Somewhere in the bowels of the security system, a voice-print identity comparison was made. "Clear" appeared on the screen. Bauer pushed on the door and entered the building, crossed the dimly lit empty lobby to the elevators and pressed a button. Looking up at the floor indicators to see that both elevators were at the 3rd floor where his laboratory was located.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?